Welcome back, trainers. So we're going to be taking a look at this Deoxys right here, attack form of course. It's going to have Poison Jab and Zap Cannon, making it ideal for a Gengar speed run. With that Poison Jab, it is going to be weather boosted because it is cloudy out, but I will be able to resist it being poison type myself. So we're going to go in here with all Gengars and see if we can beat it as fast as we possibly can. All the Gengars are going to have Shadow Claw and Shadow Ball as well. I'm not going to be doing the lobby trick because I just don't feel like it's necessary for this. I usually do that when I need to actually have extended time for the clock. Otherwise, I will not beat it. But for this case, it's going to be a clear and easy win. So this is going to be a pretty fast time, I do believe. I don't know what the fastest is out there, but this is my personal best, being the very few times that I had a perfect moveset to go up against to actually conduct it. Now, you've probably heard this a whole bunch already from myself and other YouTubers on how to solo the Deoxys attack form, which can be very effortless if you go in there with, say, Tyranitars with Bite and Crunch. That's just going to be a breeze. Doesn't matter what moveset it has. Zap Cannon is going to hurt the Tyranitars quite a bit, but you should be able to just dodge. If you have at least 75% health, you should not get shadow hit. Personally, for me, as you're going to see here with this Deoxys raid going up against it with the Gengars, I wasn't taking any shadow hits whatsoever. I wasn't trying to dodge when I had just a sliver or about 25% of my health left, only when I was about half or 75%. Usually it was going to be around half anyways, considering that the Zap Cannon takes a while to finally get off on the Deoxys. So you should be able to go in there with just Tyranitar's Bite and Crunch. Say if you had to show up late with just 15 minutes on the raid, nobody was there, simply go in there with these and just Bite and Crunch away, right? If you don't have those and you say you have a Smackdown one, right? Smackdown and Crunch should work just fine. You should be okay there. Just make sure you have some sort of dark move. Now we can jump over to Mewtwo. If you have these, this will work as well. Unless it does have Dark Pulse, it's going to be wrecking and absolutely destroying your Mewtwo, so you may want to look out for that. On the other hand, Tyranitar basically is going to be resisting that, as well as the Psycho Boost, which is going to be doing quite a bit of damage on that Deoxys attack form. The Zap Cannon, like we said, is the only one that's going to be doing massive damage to that Tyranitar. So Mewtwo just has to look out for that Dark Pulse. I recommend either Psycho Cut and Shadow Ball or Confusion Shadow Ball. Personally, if you're going to go into PvP though, using a Mewtwo, which if you're using legendaries, that's all you're probably going to want Psycho Cut to charge those energies for your charge moves, right? And if we go over here, this is just my sets, and there you are. Now, if you don't have those and all that, I guess if you were lucky enough to get a Sinnoh Stone and have one of these powered up, Weavile is actually going to be your highest damage outputting Pokemon to go up against it with Feint Attack and Foul Play. Now, it's not going to last the longest, but it will be resisting that Dark Pulse and Psycho Boost, so you should be okay there. If it does have Zap Cannon, well, it's going to take you out one hit if you do not dodge. It should take you out in one hit almost, okay? It's going to be very strong. So Weavile, another great option as well. So this is another awesome option. Of course, if it does have Zap Cannon, then you are going to be falling quite fast. Even when you dodge, I personally have done this, and when I dodge, it takes about, almost half of your health anyways. So it's going to hurt quite a bit, about 33%. So it's because it's part flying type, dark and flying. So Honchkrow, another great option to go up against these Deoxys with a group or by yourself if you're trying to solo it. And then I just have my Mewtwo's and the Absols. So Absol is going to be another one that's going to be fantastic, putting off a great amount of damage. But on the flip side, it doesn't have much defense or stamina, so it's not going to be able to stay in the fight for too long. But it should help you to chip away on the Deoxys health quite nicely with Snarl and Dark Pulse. Not to mention, it looks fantastic. Alrighty, so now that we went over that, let's go ahead and talk about for Alligator and then the IVs that I was discussing yesterday, just very briefly, and the input that I was receiving from you guys. And I want to thank you too, as well as doing a little bit of homework online. I came to find out what people are discovering regarding PvP and the IVs. Now after this, we're going to hop into the Pokemon that will be taking a Sinnoh Stone evolution that have been yet to be released. We're going to just be going over their stats and moves to see how well they're going to perform. Now back onto the IVs here. So I was saying, you're probably going to want the lowest IVs possible, which in some cases can help you and benefit you. But also what I've come to find out is this. Okay, so basically I already kind of knew this part, which is going to be the higher the attack IV, the higher the CP potential for that Pokemon. So if you have a few that are completely maxed out, one for some reason you maxed out a Pokemon with like 5 attack, 15 defense, and 15 stamina, and then you have another one of that Pokemon with say 15 IVs and attack, and then the lower defense and stamina IVs, the one with the higher IV and attack is going to have this higher CP potential, even though the other one has 15 in defense and stamina. That's because the attack IV just brings their CP up higher. So what am I getting at here is you may want to look for Pokemon specifically in PvP, and this may sound nuts, that are going to have the lower attack stat with the higher defense and stamina. Since that higher defense and stamina IV are not going to raise its CP to the highest potential possible, you'll be able to power it up more, reaching a higher CP potential within that league, so it doesn't surpass it because it's so dominant with that high attack IV. Now, I know that might be a little confusing to some of you, but I know, I'm sorry, I'm just not explaining it the best, but that's pretty much what you're going for. That's pretty much what you're going for here. Now, there is going to be case-to-case basis where some Pokemon are going to perform a little bit better with other IVs, okay? It gets kind of complicated, so I'm not going to go too deep into it. Basically, when it comes down to it, the lower your attack IV, you'll be able to power it up more, reaching a better damage output, even though the attack is lower. Because in PvP, what reigns supreme is going to be level and CP. Pretty much that's it, okay? So, alright, you don't have to take my word for it. Go do some homework and see what you have. And I will tell you this, though. I will tell you this. Say you have a 100, like, well, great. What is my 100 good for even? Don't worry about it and don't even stress it, because say you did take the best case potential for something 0 attack IV, 15 defense, and 15 stamina, and it was in the Ultra League, Great League, whatever, we're going to exclude Master because you can completely max things out. It going up against that 0 attack, 15 defense, 15 stamina against your 100 head to head, no charge moves, same Pokemon, same quick move, just to do a comparison, the difference is going to be very minuscule. I couldn't even tell you who would faint first. It would really depend on the situation. You also have to take into consideration, if you're doing these tests, that there will be a little bit of lag possibly on either end, so you're not going to get a 100% accurate test unless you guys are both perfectly on sync. Then you might just faint at the same time. So regarding your 100 going up against this other potential that we're talking about, you will be just fine. Be happy with it still. This is just for people who are looking to maximize 100% the best damage output that they can possibly do in a PvP match. I know that's pretty much everybody who's trying to be competitive, but when it comes down to it, you don't need to worry about it too much. But that is what you're going to be kind of wanting to look for. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and take a look at more Sinnoh Stone evolutions that will be coming in the future that have yet to be released. We're over here on the Go Hub, and the first Pokemon we're going to be looking at is going to be Magnezone. It's going to be evolving from Magneton. It's going to be an electric and steel type, max CP potential, 3,205 attack, 238 defense, 205 and stamina, 172. Well-rounded Pokemon here, and not just that, it's going to have many resistances. It's going to be weak to fighting, fire, and then 4 times to ground, being electric and steel type, so you have to look out for that. Now, it's going to be resisting flying, poison, and steel quite a bit, as well as bug, dragon, electric, fairy, grass, ice, normal, psychic, and rock. Those are some pretty good typings that it's going to be resisting. Like Rhyperior, for instance, you have Flash Cannon, because if you did not have that, you will be getting walled quite a bit. So you do have that option. Zap Cannon is just going to be a massive damage outputting move, but that's going to be your choice. Personally, I think you should go for Wild Charge and Flash Cannon for coverage. Next up, we have Tangrowth, which is going to be evolving from Tangela or Tangela, however you like to say it. It's going to be a pure grass type. Now, this is going to be a good one, folks, so make sure you do have a good Tangela ready to go. Possibly trade a few and get a lucky, because you don't want to miss out on this one here. Max CP, 3,030, attack, 207, defense, 184, and stamina, 225. Now, it's going to be weak to bug, fire, flying, ice, and poison, resisting electric, grass, ground, and water. So, not too hot on the weaknesses, but the resistance list is looking quite nice. Some pretty available typings that people use in PvP. Alright, so we're over here on the Game Press taking a look at the move pool. I will be leaving a link to GoHub as well as GamePress in the description so you can check out this information for yourself. You're just going to have to look around the websites a bit. So let's go ahead and go over the moves because this is quite important and it counters pretty much all of its weaknesses. So we have for the quick moves, Infestation and Vine Whip. So right off the bat, Infestation is going to be able to do super effective damage to grass types if you are matched up against that kind of stalemate there. For the charge moves, we have Ancient Power, Sludge Bomb, and Solar Beam. Solar Beam being a nice strong grass move. That's up to you if you want to use that. And then you have Sludge Bomb to hit those grass types yet again, as well as those fairies possibly. And then you have Ancient Power. Alright, so now there you go. It's covering its weaknesses, pretty much all of them. The Flying, Fire, Bug, and Ice are all going to be weak to Ancient Power. So you're going to definitely want to roll with that one on your Tangrowth for sure. So there you have the movesets. As far as what do you want to pick? Well, do you want Solar Beam? It's up to you. I mean, maybe Ancient Power Solar Beam. I don't see why you would need Sludge Bomb because you do have Infestation and then Vine Whip as well. Ancient Power is definitely going to be a must on Tangrowth though because of that coverage, especially if you're using it for PvP. If you're not trying to battle other trainers, then just go with Solar Beam and Vine Whip. Alright, that's pretty much what you want to do. And you don't need to purchase a secondary move. Simple as that. So there you have it, trainers. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like because that always helps me out. Comment below, and I will be catching you all on my next video. Take care and have a great day.